Hi guys, welcome to Money Talks, where we talk all things side hustles, how you can make money online, and just generally how you can gain a better financial freedom for yourself. If you've been looking for a side hustle and or business that you want to start, that is one, always in demand, two, will be able to provide you a consistent stream of income, and number three, that is recession proof, then you have landed on the right video. In today's video, I want to share with you 5 high profit businesses that never run out of style. So if that sounds like you, then please don't be shy to hit the subscribe button so that you can join the Bali Talks community. And also remember to keep your notification bell on so that you never miss out on any of the content that happens here. Without wasting any more of your time, let's get right into it. The first high profit business on our list that is always in demand and that would always make you money consistently month in, month out is for you to go into Airbnb hosting. This is the most easy business to start on this list with the lowest barriers to entry, and also it only comes with a once-off cost. The only cost that you're going to incur when you're running an Airbnb hosting business is for you to set up the apartment and or to put in the Wi-Fi. Everything else that you're actually going to end up doing with the apartment, whether it's the cleaning, whether it's changing Wi-Fi supplies, etc., is actually going to be able to be done from the money that you would have made from the business. If you've ever booked an Airbnb apartment, you'll know that on the app itself, there's usually a service amount that they add onto the money that you're going to pay on a per night basis. This is the money that you find owners of those apartments and houses use in order for them to be able to provide cleaning services for that apartment. So again, it's one of those businesses where you will never have to fork out your money consistently with the business to keep it running. The business itself makes money within the app for it to be able to run on an everyday basis. Whether you're providing coffee amenities and or snacks, all those things are going to be provided for by the money that you're actually making in the business. You can decide to either use your own apartment, which is outside of where you actually live, because some people are skeptical about having a total stranger in their house. So if you have an extra apartment or you want to buy an apartment specifically for that purpose, you can do that. Another way for you to go into the Airbnb hosting business, which has actually become a popular trend with a lot of people, is for you to rent other people's apartments. Let them know that you want to do Airbnb and then pay the rental on a monthly basis. The money that you're making from the Airbnb apartment itself, whether you own it and you need to pay the bank or you're renting it and you need to pay rent, is actually going to be made from the business itself. Currently in South Africa, the average amount of money that you can make from an Airbnb bachelor apartment ranges anything between 15 to 20,000 rand on a monthly basis. So if say maybe you have a base rental of 8,000 rand or you have a bond of say maybe 6,000 rand, you can easily find yourself making a minimum of 10,000 rand net profit on just Airbnb hosting, which is why again it's one of those businesses that I feel like will never run out of style. They also consistently make you money and they have the lowest barriers to entry. The next high profit business that is always in demand and that will make you money consistently is for you to go into private event planning. What this means is that you're an event planner but for private and intimate events. Events that range between 10 and or 50 people. What I like about this business is the fact that it does not require you to have any event planning experience and or even a certificate. If you're somebody with great organizational skills, great interpersonal skills, great communication skills, and also you just have a knack for how things should look and sit in a decor setup, then this is an easy business for you to be able to start. And the reason I suggest for you to focus on private event planning is the fact that because of the small groups, it's actually an easier business to start. You're literally going to be using your clients' money to rent the chairs, to rent a venue, etc. Your job is just to be able to put together a mood board for anyone that wants a private and or an intimate event in order for you to be able to make money. You can decide whether you're going to charge that person for all the individual items that you're actually going to put to make the event, or you're actually going to put all those things into a list, come up with an invoice amount, and then charge them a percentage of that amount. The percentage idea of charging actually depends on the number of people, because obviously you don't want to find yourself overcharging a client just because they have specific things that they want on their event that are actually more pricey. Another way for you to be able to do this business is to liaison with other bigger event planning businesses so that you can actually use their equipment and or their staff to be able to create this business for yourself. Also, for an event planning business, you should always look into collaborating with someone who is in the cooking and or catering space. This is just a way for you to make sure that you always have reliant and consistent standards of suppliers that can provide the kind of standard that you want for your business. If you're in South Africa, there's actually something called a Facilities Management Expo that happens around October and I think around September as well. So that means it's probably like a month-long type of expo where if someone like you wants to start an event planning business, my advice for you would be to start there. They have different displays of different equipment, and also they share different trends of how you can actually do your event planning business, and also the kind of styling and or colors that are now trending with clients, so that obviously you make sure that your business is always in par with what people actually want with regards to their event planning standard. The next high profit business that you can go into, which is 1, trending right now, 2, will always be in demand, and 3, will make sure that you have a consistent income stream, is for you to go into the pet service and product industry. This is definitely a growing business trend that you can actually look into, as more and more people are starting to treat their pets as more than just animals, but more as family as well as children. If you're a parent, you definitely know the lengths that parents are always willing to go to make sure that their children are actually happy. This is the same with people that are pet owners and or animal lovers. The love that pet owners have for their furry animals has led to a high demand in different products as well as services that can be used to entertain those pets. Whether you're selling clothing, whether you're selling toys, or you're actually selling those manicure services, I've actually seen, and I know you've probably also seen this, I've seen a lot of vans around when you're driving that are specific to actually providing spa services to pets. That's another way for you to be able to enter into this industry. If you're a startup and you're not sure of what you actually want to do, my advice for you is to go into platforms like Alibaba and or even on DHgate, where you can find different toys, products, and even cute clothing items that are specific to pets in order for you to be able to start your business. The amount of money that you can make through a pet service and product industry varies depending on the type of business that you're running, what you're selling, and or the services that you're actually providing. But based on my research, on average, you are able to make a markup of between 20 to 50% on the actual cost in order for you to be able to make money and or to gain a certain net profit. Also, based on world studies right now, this is a business that has been earmarked to reach the 500 billion mark by 2030. So if you want to be part of that industry and actually create a market share for yourself, right now is the best time for you to be able to look into and or start this business. The next high profit business that you can look into that is always in demand and will make sure that you're consistently able to make money is for you to go into property investment. So there's 2 ways that I've actually studied that you can use to be able to make it in the property investment sector. You can either 1, buy individual bachelor size apartments that range between 500 and 800,000 rand if you have the money to be able to do that. The second way for you to go into property investment is a good way of doing it if you're somebody who does not have a lot of capital. Say maybe you have anything between 300 to 500,000 rand for you to start. My personal advice based on my own experience, because this is a business that I've also actually invested in, is for you to look outside of town. Whether it's in the far locations or it's actually a small town that is starting to bust out with people and or hubs of work. Say for example, construction workers, etc. You can easily find land in those areas. Build anything between 3 to 5 of 1-bedroom style type of units, which are basically termed low-cost housing. And the reason that term low-cost housing is the fact that obviously because it's outside of town, what it would cost you for you to build them is not the same as what it would cost for you to build one apartment here in the inner city. So you can easily find yourself with these low-cost housing units ranging anything between 2,000 all the way to 3.5 on rental per unit. Multiply that, say maybe by 5, you know that you're easily making anything between 15 all the way to 20,000 rand on a monthly basis. And if you're actually someone who used your own money because you had capital upfront, all that money actually goes back into your pocket. In fact, you can then decide to use that amount of rental money to then go to the bank to go and approach them for even a bigger project. Say maybe now you want to go into building 10 units. This is just one of those easy businesses for you to be able to start as well as to grow. However, it will require you to have a bit of capital in order for you to start, which makes it have a bit of a barrier to entry. But again, if you're someone who has either that amount of money to start on the outskirts or you have a bit of more capital to play with, property investment is definitely one of those businesses that I'd advise for you to look into if you're looking for a business that will always be in demand and one that can easily consistently make you money. The next high profit business that you can look into if you're looking for a business that is 1, currently on the rise, and 2, that will ensure that you consistently have a stream of income, is for you to look into starting an eco-friendly products shop. This is a business that you're actually going to build around environmentally friendly products as well as services. Whether you're going to be selling reusable containers, biodegradable items, or you're actually going to look into selling naturally produced cleaning products. There's actually 3 companies that I've listed in the description box that you can actually check out. I know that some of them are actually based in Cape Town that sell naturally produced cleaning agents. So if maybe you don't want to sell products, etc., but you prefer to sell the cleaning items, they are the first stop that you can look into in order for you to be able to start your business. Now, I'll be honest with you, trying to create a business around environmentally friendly products and services is not exactly the most popular business, which again is why I feel like right now is the best time for you to be able to break into this kind of industry in order for you to secure a sustainable market share for yourself. Because whether we like it or not, we've already started moving from plastic straws to paper straws, from the plastic shopping bags to the woven bags. So it basically says to me, the more we're going in that direction, the more there are opportunities for business. And even you sitting at home, if you're somebody who's into the entrepreneurial space, your mindset should always be looking around businesses that are in the industries that are consistently evolving. Be aware of what's trending, be aware of what new industries are actually emerging in order for you to be able to find maybe a loophole or even to find a niche within that industry that you can use to create a sustainable business that will always be in demand and that can consistently make you money. With all that said, I've actually come to the end of this video. Please don't be shy to reward me for the work that has gone into it by just hitting the like button. And also, don't be shy to join the Money Talks community by just hitting that subscribe button. And remember to always keep your notification bell on so that you never miss out on any of the content that happens here. Otherwise, I wish you guys all the best in your efforts to be able to make money, start side hustles, find remote jobs online, and I'm actually going to see you in the next Money Talks video. Cheers.